Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by PewSitter.com, your online Catholic newspaper for the third millennium, CatholicMediaCoalition.org, in line with the Church, online with the world.
And TheAmericanCatholic.com, politics and culture from a Catholic perspective.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Catholic News Roundup. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Traditional marriage undermined in New York. The New York State Senate has voted yes to same-sex marriage, despite voices of opposition from over 50% of the state's population. The vote came Friday night after an extended late-night session where two undecided Republican senators tipped the scales in favor of same-sex unions after a dead draw of 31 votes on both sides. The New York Times reports that Archbishop Timothy Dolan was very disappointed over the vote and said, quote, "I was sad because it's not good for the common good. I think society and culture is at its peril," end quote. Same-sex marriages will be available in New York in 30 days. For more information about the vote this weekend, please visit our Roundup page by clicking the link right over here. Islam's no-fly zone. Delta's move to make a deal with Saudi Arabian Airlines has Jews around the world livid, flatly calling it discrimination. The agreement between the airlines will keep Jews, Israelis, and passengers carrying any object suggesting a religion other than Islam, like a Bible or breviary, from entering the country, even if transitioning to a flight headed back out of Saudi Arabia. The American Center for Law and Justice says it is looking into just how legal such an agreement is, but Delta is not being too cooperative. Delta will be enforcing this agreement on outgoing flights from the U.S. to Arabia in 2012. Kansas clinics closing. Pro-lifers are anxiously awaiting to find out if their state will soon be completely abortion-free. Kansas is one of the 4 states that has defunded Planned Parenthood, but has also passed legislation putting requirements on abortion clinics that many are hopeful will shut down the 3 remaining abortuaries in the state. The new law will require abortion mills to have licensed nurses, protocols, sterilization equipment, and proper drugs, all absent in many clinics prior to the new law. Inspections began last week on the infamous Overland Park abortion clinic, currently facing 107 criminal charges for late-term abortions. The Kansas Department of Health and Environment will decide by July 1st whether the 3 clinics will be able to operate under the new legislation. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few seconds.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by NewOxfordReview.org, the voice of Catholic Orthodoxy, in print and on the web, and RenewAmerica.com, expanding the influence of America's grassroots in the cause of freedom.
Judge orders Billboard down. A New Mexico judge is forcing a father to take down a billboard after his girlfriend aborted their child. The father, Greg Foltz, put up a picture of himself holding the shadow of a baby with the words, quote, "This would have been a picture of my 2-month-old baby had the mother decided not to kill our child." The mother of the murdered child is suing for the billboard's removal, and the judge of the 12th District Court has ruled in her favor. Foltz's attorney is fighting for a hold on the decision and is discussing appeal options, while the case gains national attention. You can read the full article on our resource page by clicking on the link right over here. Corpus Christi returns in Russia. For the first time in almost a century, the mayor of St. Petersburg has allowed a procession on the feast of Corpus Christi. The last procession for the feast day was in 1918, taking place on the city's main street called the Way of Confessional Tolerance. The celebration is a very emotional event for Catholics in the city who vividly remember the persecution of the church under the communist regime. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of Catholic News Roundup right here on RealCatholicTV.com, and be sure to check out The Vortex today, where Michael talks about Catholic marriage. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tell all your friends about us, and as always, God bless.